Shalom, everyone. We are back live. This is your boy Yemi Yahoo Ben Yahuda, also known as your boy Yemi. I am here today, basically going over our series of teaching called "The Destruction of the Black Man." Black Man, also known as the Hebrew Israelite man. I want to first give all praise to the Most High Yah, who is the center and he's just the center of my life. Um, to all those who have come into the chat, to the building, I want to say welcome. Total Rabah to you, which is thank you. Um, I'm grateful and thankful for all the people that have been here this week, coming in faithfully, leaving your comments. Um, I want to thank the moderators who aren't mine, but are loving and kind enough to come through and help me out this week while I'm teaching this subject matter. Um, hey, April, how you doing? Um, Listen, y'all, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to sit here as a black man and a Hebrew Israelite man, knowing who I am, knowing where I come from, and knowing who my people are, and not share this knowledge with you. I know for a fact that this is hard to swallow. This is a hard pill to swallow, but it is my right. It is my charge. It is what I was called to do, to go back in and not keep this knowledge to myself, um, because we as a nation have a bad habit of, once we get enlightened or once we wake up from this strong delusion that the system has placed upon us, to hold this knowledge to ourselves and not share it with our people. And this is, to me, a greater crime than what our oppressors have done to us. Now, listen, if you're a black man, black woman, mother, daughter, husband, brother, son, you have a charge once you hear this information. And I'm going to tell you, don't take my word for it, because I didn't take anybody's word for this. I did the research. I'm giving you tools and instruments to go back and find the truth. The Bible says you should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Um, and what hurts me the most, Shalom, Maki.
Shalom, my brother.
What hurts me the most about this is to be to to be lucky enough to be chosen by Yah, to wake up and then to hold on this knowledge. And I'm so grateful that yourself is here, because I'm gonna be honest with you. That brother right there that's stroking his beard, sitting in that chair, laid back, is very instrumental in my awakening. You don't understand. When I first was introduced to this man, some 7 years ago, about 7 years ago now, 6, 7 years ago,
Yeah.
um, he didn't know me from Adam. And when people say, I hear people use, excuse me, I hear people use the term day ones. Good afternoon, good afternoon. I hear the people use that term day ones. And it bothers me to all be dang when I hear it, because for a lot of y'all, you don't know what a day one is. Well, I'm going to show you what a true day one is, and that's that man right there to my on the other side of the screen. This brother has answered questions at the midnight hour. This brother has answered questions before the rooster crowed. This brother has answered questions in the middle of the day. This brother has stayed on the phone with me for countless hours. Because I'm not gonna lie, the break away from Christianity is hard as hell. Christianity is a drug. It is a drug,
Yes.
and me and him having a similar background made it a little bit easier, I think, because I think I was fortunate enough and y'all knew who to put in my life because I honestly feel like this brother saw himself in me. And and it's crazy to me that now the man that taught me and trusts me to teach him. See, that's what day ones are. Because we don't give a dang about our age. We don't care about how long we've been in this walk. And then when Malak comes up, Malak been in this walk longer than the both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And we take turns teaching each other. Now, this is when the Bible talks about iron and sharpen iron. This is what the Bible's talking about. And we are real men. We don't take offense. These brothers, man, let me tell you. The reason why you don't hear them beat me across the head right now is because I'm actually doing what they said I need to be doing. And I hate to take I hate to stand up on a soapbox right now, but I gotta explain this to our people because this is something that we are not seeing between black people.
Mm-hmm.
There are more beefs in this world on the internet. Man, YouTube has more beefs going on right now than all the RB stores, all the
Mm-hmm.
RB roast beef, all the Outback steakhouses, all the Texas Roadhouse, all the
Mm-hmm.
Texas land and cattle in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And what kills me is it's our own people in this thing systematically trying to destroy each other. This is why it is important, y'all. And don't take my word for it. I keep on telling you. Thank you for the 4 wonderful channels in the chat. Don't take my word for it. When you hear this, and if you don't understand what we're talking about, or if you have any questions, look, man, hit me up on IG at holla at Yemi, or go and it's easy to find my email address here on YouTube. um because look, man, that, like the United Negro College Fund, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And see, what y'all don't understand, this ain't no game. The 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 payment is your soul.
Mm-hmm.
The payout in this is your soul, because you will lose your soul if you don't get this right. And I'm going to start by saying this, and this is to all my friends who are in Christianity. I want to make it. I want to make something very clear to you. We're not trying to bash you because we've been here. Both of us were pastors. Both of us taught pastors. Both of us taught
Mm-hmm.
and preached. We both had a platform, a nationwide platform for the most part, traveling and sharing, spreading the gospel. But when you wake up and you realize that you've been lied to, or when you wake up and you finally read the scripture for yourself and you finally let it sink in, and you finally you finally got questions that need to
Mm-hmm.
be answered, you you really don't have any other choice but to follow this thing and to play it out. Thank you to all the 6 channels in the chat. Now, this ain't a strike on people that are Christians. This is not. But I want you to listen to the scriptures. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, or the kingdom of God, and these things shall be added unto you. But the thing is, you have to seek ye first. Remember, the Messiah said, ask and ye shall receive, seek and ye shall find, knock and the door shall be open to you. And a lot of people always think it's about finding money, and it's not. This is about finding knowledge. This is about finding who you are. And the Father was graceful, was kind enough, yeah, um, was kind enough to leave us some hidden gems in the book, that if he woke up the right people, they could lead his people back to him. So I would tell you, if you are listening to what we've been talking about, and it makes sense to you, go and find reference books. We've given you reference materials to look at, but there's some instrumental books that you should also buy and read. On if you have Kindle, if you have audio books, there's a book called From Babylon to Timbuktu. I suggest you get it. It's written by Robert R. Windsor. It's a fully detailed book. It's going to cover all the history of the Hebrew Israelites, and how we were taken captive from each captivity, and it's going to come with scripture, because we firmly believe in showing you the truth so far, or in the book. Um, Also, get Hidden in Plain Sight. This book is by Holder Dowee. It's a very powerful book, and I believe that it will help you along in your studies and in finding who you really are. Because once you know who you are, this is what we're trying to do. Once you know who you are, then you can read the book in a different light, because then you realize that there's requirements for you, and they're not the same requirements that the heathen have, or that the other nations have, because we are Sagala. We are a peculiar people. We are a set aside people. And so to be and to walk in that path, we must embrace who we are, and also whose we are. On yesterday, well, first of all, I want to introduce you to my brother Yosef. I'm going to give him a few minutes to talk to you while I cough and gag. Man, this Rona ain't no punk. So I'm going to cough, gag, drink a little water, take a little time, brother, and talk to him. You see how hoarse I'm getting. So talk to him for a second. I'm going to let you have the screen while I black out.
Shalom, family. Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, and to those who have been grafted into. All praises to the Most High, to His Son, Yeshua Hamashiach, and to Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. It's good to be with you all again today. It's good to always honor and privilege to be able to come on over the air, or in whatever venue, and to be able to share the gospel of the kingdom with the family. Just to kind of carry on in the on the line of thinking, the line of thought that Maury Yemi was on, in terms of our relationship. He's my brother. Love him dearly. One of the things we have to do as brothers, especially in the truth. We have to learn how to love one another, how to edify one another, and how to respect one another's gifts. We are brothers, love dearly, along with Malak. And Malak was one. I was in Christianity.
You're breaking
Uh,
up.
uh,
You're breaking up.
Malak. Okay. Okay. I may have to turn this off here. Y'all bear with me for just a second. Maybe 10 years ago, Brother Malak was the one that introduced the truth. I was coming out of Christianity. And one of the things I'll never forget, you know, he shared with me a few scriptures, introduced me to the truth. He told me this, and this is what I share with everyone else. He said, "Don't believe anything I say." He never tried to convince me or argue with me or debate me or anything like that. He just told me, he said, "Don't." He said, "Rod," he said, "Don't believe anything I say. Do your research." And that's what we ask of anybody, that we
You're
share the truth.
still breaking
That's
up,
what I ask
Rod.
or the challenge I give to anyone that I share the truth with.
There you go.
Um, are we better?
Yeah, you better right there.
I think I've got too many devices on at the same time. Y'all bear with me. Um, to whatever we share and whatever we teach and whatever we say, we hope that those of you that are out there, you have the spirit of the Bereans, where they would listen to the Apostle Paul and they would search the scriptures to see if those things were so. And so we encourage everyone to do that. Again, getting back to our relationship, one of the things brothers have to learn how to do is to respect one another, to love one another, and respect one another, brothers and sisters, to love each other, respect each other's gift, and allow each other the room and the space to operate in those gifts. And I'm going to say this, just as Brother Yemi was saying, Maury Yemi was saying, there's a lot of beef going on between organizations and even within organizations, power struggles and things of that sort. And one of the things that I love, one of the things that draws us together is the love and the humility that we have, and the appreciation that we have for one another. Uh, Brother Malak and myself, um, our job is to do whatever needs to be done to take take the burden away from Moray Gibbons so he can do what he does, and that's teach the word. And we're able, we make ourselves available to him, and we're not fighting. No one's fighting for the limelight, and no one's fighting over whatever. We submit ourselves to him as our Moray, as the teacher, and he submits himself to us in terms of administration and seeing over the flock, and that frees him to do what he needs to do, and what Yah has called him to do. And so we have to learn how to do that as brothers and sisters in this truth that the Father has given us. He's given us gifts and talents and abilities that we need to be able to exercise. And as Morey Dawi Yoshiyahu says, there's no big eyes and no little U's. And having said all that, I appreciate all of you that are that tune in and share with us, and the feedback and the encouragement. We appreciate that. We most certainly appreciate those that come on and in the comment sections. And I'm sorry, it's a long night and the names don't come to me, but those who come in and act as our administrators, and help us out with notes and with making different notations in the comment section. Uh, we appreciate that. We appreciate all of you. Um, Again, we have to understand, again, from a scriptural and from a spiritual standpoint, that all of the attacks that we are under, we do not wrestle with flesh and blood, but we wrestle against principalities and powers and rulers of wickedness in high places. And so we're not attacking any individuals. We're not angry at any individuals. We're not upset or holding any grudges against the white man or against the so-called Jew or anyone else. What we attack is the lie or the lies. We attack the lies. We attack the deception. And when we get passionate and all worked up, we're worked up against the lies. Our people have been lied to. Our people have been deceived. And Yahushua told us in his word, it says, be not deceived, that many will come in my name and shall deceive many. And so we're passionate about sharing the truth, uh, both within and outside of the Hebrew Israelite family. Um, we're passionate about helping our brothers and sisters in Christianity become aware of who we are and whose we are, that we are a special treasure. One of the lies that we have to come against is this lies that uh, we want equality. No, no, that's not what the Father's called us to. That's not what the Father's called you to. Equality with devils, equality with liars, equality with deceit. No, no, no. We are a special treasure. We learned that yesterday, that we are his special treasure, and that he has chosen us to be above all the nations of the earth, and not to rule, not to try to rule over or be in charge of, but to be a light to. Yeshua told us that you don't take a lamp or a light and hide it under a bushel or under a bed, but you hold that light up so that all can see. And that is an exalted position that we have. But with that exalted position exalted position comes a great expectation. The Father expects us to be able to be ready to give an answer to every man or woman who questions us concerning the hope that we have within us. And we can't do that if we're ignorant of the Word of God. We can't do that if we're ignorant of Torah. We can't do that if we're not ready. If you stay ready, there's the old saying that says, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And so we want to uh, equip Yasharal, equip Israel, equip Zion with the tools, uh, most specifically with Torah and with our language, coming back into the understanding of who we are, coming back in touch with our language, our heritage, our history, our culture, so that we can share that with those who are not in the faith, and those who are within the faith, and those who are not in the faith, not in the truth, so that we can carry out the mandate. We can carry out our destiny, what that the Father has called us to. There's to be salt and light uh, in a world of darkness. And so we're excited to be with you today. We're excited to be here and to share with you. And we're also excited to see where the Ruach is taking More Yemi today as we go into this delve more into this subject matter. And lastly, let me throw this in here. I meant to say this earlier. Please remain in prayer for our brother, and we want to be in prayer for him, that the Father would his health, that the Father would continue to strengthen him, and he's kept him strong up until this point. But he is struggling, he is battling. So you all be in prayer for him, be in prayer with us as we pray for him, and do all that we can to support him and encourage him. Also, with some family matters that he's dealing with, just be in prayer. And we know that the Most High is going to provide him with everything he needs to keep doing what he has called him to do.
Thank you, Art. I really appreciate that. As we get ready to go into today's lesson, I'm going to recap yesterday. So yesterday, we found out the Hebraic root words for father, mother, son, and daughter, and the roles that each of them play in the life of the Hebrew family unit. Now, I was thinking prior to coming on this afternoon about something. Ooh, my ear itching. Somebody talking about me like a dog right now. I was sitting there thinking about something, and when I was taking my shower this morning, and I guess y'all put this on my heart to say. A chain is no stronger than its weakest link.
Mm-hmm.
And to disturb any link in the chain breaks the purpose of the chain. And I want you to understand this because you want the chain to be intact. So the Father, fortunately, um, created a chain that had a certain numbers of links in it. And I'm going to explain the links to you. First link in the chain is always the Father. Everything starts with the Ab.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, it's no coincidence that when we look at the Father, his name is represented in the first two letters of the Hebrew alphabet,
Mm-hmm.
or the Aleph bet is what we call it. So the representation of the Father is always the Ab, or Aleph bet.
Mm-hmm.
It's always represented that way. The second link in the chain is the Son.
Mm-hmm.
His link connects to the Father. Boy, I'm about to shout at the bet. Well, we know as Hebrews that the bet is a feminine aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at the word Ab, it has Aleph, bet. Aleph, being an ox or a strong leader, is always represented in a masculine form. The bet is always represented in a feminine because it's a representation of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it connects the Son because the Son is the seed of the house. So you have Bet Noon, the Son. Then he goes and connects us by being the man, or or Adon, or there's several different words that he's used. Even us as men have the characteristics of the Ab, or the Father. We
Mm-hmm.
take on the masculine characteristics of the Father. The woman in the situation takes on the feminine characteristics of the Ab, which is the nurturing part, because the Father does represent strength of the house. So
Mm-hmm.
everything that goes on in the house, if he's not strong, then the house won't be strong.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you understand this, and I'm bringing this to you in such a way so you'll understand that in the orders of things, he placed order because to keep things in order keeps them functional.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, so if anything in that order gets out of line, it becomes dysfunctional. And so, ladies, I know that some of y'all may have taken offense to what I said on yesterday about a woman not being able to raise a man. And I want you to understand this. You can raise this child up. You can teach the child what is good to do, but
Mm-hmm.
you cannot teach him from the aspect of a father.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the point that I was making. Because I got a lot of, well, I didn't get a lot of kickback, but I got some kickback. Now, listen, women, I know for a fact in a household back in the day that when the man went down, the woman had to get up, she had to tend to them sheep, she had to go on out there and hook herself up to that plow, and she had to plow the yard, she had to plant if anything happened to her husband.
Mm-hmm.
But she can't do it from the aspect of a man. The work weighs on her body differently than it weighs on us. Just like we can't give birth to a child. And we know this is the true fact that men don't take care of children like women do. Women, if you have raised any children, do you really feel comfortable leaving your child at home with his father? I'm sorry, man, but I just gotta be honest. Women, do you leave the house and leave your kids home with their father, and in the back of your mind, you be like, man, I hope you don't kill my child.
Mm.
Because you know dang well we gonna take care of the kid. We gonna take care of the kid. But the
Mm-hmm.
fact of the matter is we ain't gonna take care of the kid like you do. You baby, are you hungry? If the kid says yes, you gonna fix it a meal. And matter of fact, you ain't gonna ask.
Yeah.
For the most part, you gonna fix the meal and tell them it's time to eat. Hungry or not. You gonna wash its clothes. You gonna do all those things. But if you get sick, the whole house goes to shambles. Now, what I mean by that is the nurturing part of the house goes absent because there's only so much nurturing a man can do.
Mm-hmm.
She said,
But Maury, let me add a little bit to that, from a different viewpoint.
"Go ahead."
Maury Yemi grew up in a two-parent household. He grew up with his dad in the house, and so what that did was, in aspects of making a man, is that there was the masculine energy in the house, strong provider, protector. That was a part of his everyday experience, and it shaped his personality. It shaped his value system. It shaped how he relates to women, how he leads his home, how he just how he moves. Now, I can say this coming up. My parents divorced. I was quite young, and so I grew up with my mom, and mom did the best she could. But here's the problem: a young male who grows up in a household that's headed by a woman, his mom pays bills. His mama protects the home. She's the adult in the home, so the mama is protected. At my age, I wasn't strong enough to look out for the house, or to make the decisions and pay the bills, and the disciplinary aspect of it. And then the energy, no masculine energy. And so what that does to a young man is that young man grows up, and he starts to wants to get married, and raise a family. What tends to happen to that young man is he looks at his to look to his wife, or he tends to look to his wife to be the decision maker. He'll tend to look to a wife to be the one who, if not pays the bills, takes charge of the finances of the home. He'll look to his wife more of a, uh, 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 um, I'm going to say, I'm going to say an equal in terms of responsibility. And that's not the Hebrew way. The father, the father of the male in the home is the buck stops for him. Okay, if a young man grows up and he sees that the buck stops with mom, and then he fools around and gets married, he's gonna. And I'm just sharing this with you from personal experience. One of the weaknesses you'll find if he didn't have a male in his life to show him these things, he tends to uh, look towards woman for to be something that she is not, that she was not designed to be. She was really not designed to be an equal in terms of shouldering the responsibility of leading the family. She was not looked to as she just looked to the woman as being an equal in terms of the protection of the home. With that masculine energy being absent, it's a challenge for a young man to understand that, hey, I've got to be willing to give my life, not just in a physical and natural sense, but also in terms of the sacrifice it takes to be able to provide, protect, and to be a prince over your home. And what we're speaking of here is not the battle of the sexes, or not feminism, or toxic masculinity. We're speaking in terms of the function of who we are according to our language, the ab and the um, what is again the mother is the emma.
Yeah, Emuna, or the yeah, so the ma. Um,
The father holds the home up. The mother holds the
Together.
home together, and they work in tandem.
You can't have
Yeah,
both. I mean, you can't. It's hard.
you can't have one
Right.
doing both. That's not
It's not
functional.
functional,
It's not functional.
and that's why it's hard a lot of times for. I never experienced those thoughts. That is why it is hard for us in our society, because the enemy, or our oppressors, knew how we thought, because they spent time with us before they did their crafty counsel to destroy us. Shalom renewed. Um, they spent time with us, and by spending time with us, they looked and saw how we moved. Don't you ever notice that all conquerors, especially the Europeans, they send emissaries into the city. Then they send their priests into the city, and they or into the villages, and
Mm-hmm.
they get around the people, and they get to know the people. Then once they strike up a relationship where they ain't get killed right off the bat for coming into a place they ain't welcome, then they
Mm-hmm.
start trying to sleep with our women, and booze us up, and offer us vain and invalid contracts, um,
Mm-hmm.
to separate. And if you've ever looked at how colonialism started, they started by separating the man from the home. What do you think war is about? War is about cutting off what they consider to be the head,
Mm-hmm.
not understanding that in the Hebrew custom, or the Hebrew family structure, or even in the Hebrew language, the head is not really the man.
Mm-hmm.
The head is the father.
Mm-hmm.
We function in the role of an earthly father, hoping that we carry the characteristics of the Ab. But the problem is in our society, they have gotten us so we operate and we move in a nature that is so dysfunctional that we end up hurting or destroying the family unit. And some of the destruction is self-destruction because
Mhm.
once they teach you how to operate in a nature that is not functional, we replicate the same practices.
Mhm.
Wherein, if you look at the oppressor, they are trying to carry on our traditions. So what they do is they swap ours for theirs, and
Mhm.
then they keep their ruthlessness and their tyrannical thoughts behind why they do things. Listen, when you look at white people and you look at their homes and how they got their house set up, they got that from us.
Mhm.
Our captors took that from us. Realize that in the dark ages, them folks were just coming out of caves. Realize that those folks were barbarians. Realize that those folks had no structure. They didn't even know how to keep clean. They didn't know how to dress to keep warm. They didn't change clothes. They didn't use soap. There, there's so many things that I want to share with you that they stole from us, and they flipped it and made it seem like we were the savages. Look, have you ever noticed that in every movie that they make, they always go into somebody else's country and they call them the savages?
Mhm.
Wherein when we went into the land where that they inhabited, we brought in culture, we brought in innovation, we brought in medicine, we brought in all these things, not to destroy them, but to better them. Man, so like I was saying, when I was in the shower, the Father was showing me that if you break the chain, you can destroy the family. Well, where do they want to insert themselves? They can't insert themselves in the role of the Ab because they don't have that power to be God.
Mhm.
They can't insert themselves in the position of the Son because listen, they have not sacrificed anything for us, nor will they. So now they have to come in at the next strongest link, and that is the man or the earthly father, the earthly representation of the Ab. And how do they do that? Well, they have to create can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Mhm.
So the first thing they do is have you believe that you don't need the black man, that you can do this all on your own. Then when you go out and you give yourself to a man, you have this dominating characteristic or spirit over you, which is not of Yah, which is not of the Most High, and you end up trying to rule over the man. Where in Scripture, it clearly says that husbands will take hold of their wives. And I'm not saying rule over them in the fact that they're subservient or lesser, but that they take on the role as the protector and the provider. And
Mhm.
the wife's role is underneath as the nurturer. The other day, me and some of the sisters were talking. Matter of fact, it was yesterday after our class on yesterday, and I want to go to the book of Peter. Um, I'm not going to give you the verse, but I'm going to tell you what it says so you can look it up. and it says for us to treat our women as the weaker vessel, and it's something that you hear in church all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what scripture I'm talking about?
Give me a couple of words.
Men, treat your women as the weaker vessel.
Okay.
I know it's in Peter.
Yeah, respect, giving respect, consideration to the woman as unto the weaker vessel.
Yeah. Can you share that scripture with them?
First Peter 3:7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful, and be courteous.
Okay. So in the church, we have always heard, man, treat your wife like she's the weaker vessel or as if she was underneath you. That was not what Paul was trying to, what Peter was trying to convey in
Mhm.
that statement. The word that Peter used was the Hebrew word ashak. So when he said treat your women, first thing he says respect, right?
Giving honor unto the wife.
Okay,
Give
so the first thing he says is giving honor unto the wife as if she is the weaker vessel, right?
as unto the weaker vessel.
As unto the weaker vessel. Do you know what the unto means? As if, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when he says women giving honor unto your wife as if she was the weaker vessel, that word ashak in Hebrew means testicles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put, and it's crazy that the word is ashak because if you're a man and you get hit in your testicles, you are going to be ashak.
Mm-hmm. That's your weak spot.
That's your weak spot. So Peter was conveying in that scripture to treat your women like, or your wife like you would treat your testicles. And you know for a fact that ain't no man in the world gonna let you get close to his balls.
Mm-mm.
Not in a malicious, not in a malicious sense. He gonna keep you as far away from them jokers as humanly possible. You want to start a fight in the house, just play like you gonna hit them there.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to play like it. Just say you're going to. His whole demeanor changes
Yeah.
because he reveres them. He respects them because in those things he knows he holds life.
Mm-hmm.
In those things he knows that is his seed, where his seed is contained.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that in them, without them, he can't procreate.
Mm-hmm.
All he's doing is batting at the wind without his ashak. Why am I sharing this with you? Why am I telling you this? Because, oh Lord, because the Hebrew is so concrete. Yeah, renew every breath. It renewed every breath. It is very important for people to know because it's been taken so out of context when it was written in English, when it was translated out of English into Greek or into Latin, then the
Mm-hmm.
Greek, then the German, then to
Mm-hmm.
the book has become bastardized because all of the transliterations that it's gone into, and then it got translated into English, and then to old English, from old English to a newer dialect of English, and now it's in the NIV to where they just taking out scriptures altogether.
Mm-hmm.
So when Peter was talking to the men, he was telling them, you have to treat this woman, your wife, as if she is as precious as your balls. I'm sorry, I got to make it plain because people don't understand if I say it the other way. This is why we have to understand our roles. We should revere our wives, not in the sense of worshiping them, but in the sense of knowing that they are the ground in which we plant our seed. And no man has a farm and does not take care of his land because he realizes then he won't be able to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Fellas, brothers, if we allow the system to break the chain, then the other man moves in and takes away that which is precious to us, our
Mm-hmm.
land. Remember this, they moved us out of our land. They're replicating that same thing with the black woman or with the Hebrew Israelite woman. Now they want you. How do I know that? Because what's the first thing they did to you? They demasculinized the man so you wouldn't respect him. They put themselves over the black man. So now you'll do anything that your oppressor tells you to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fact. Listen, that women's live stuff, what is it called? The what's that other thing called? What do they call themselves?
The
Um
feminist
yeah,
movement.
the feminist movement is a scheme from hell. Because if you go to a white folks' house, that don't happen over there. They gave that to you
Mm-hmm.
so that you could break up your homes.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to explain this to you. I want to explain this to you so you'll get a better understanding. Joseph said something that was very true. I was raised in the house with both of my parents. I got to see my parents move in their respective roles. I got to see my dad, who was a man, be a man. And I don't even hold a light to him. He tried. And then I got to see my mother be a mother. And even though me and her don't get along, even to this day, we don't get along. We don't sit her horses. I love her. I cherish my mother, but we don't set horses because of some other stuff. That's too much. But I got to see my father move in the space of a man. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna be honest with you. I gained more respect for my father about 15 years ago than I
Mm-hmm.
ever had in my life because I think it was 10 or 15 years ago. My mother had to go in and have open heart surgery. And when my mother had her surgery, they basically couldn't bring her out. So she was hooked to a ventilator and she stayed on the ventilator for 4 months. And I got to see my father move as a man does. For 4 months, my dad only left the hospital to shower and to change clothes. My dad ate at the hospital. He did all this stuff at the hospital so he could hear. And I didn't think, to be honest with you, my parents had been married over 50 years, over 40 years at that point. And I just thought they were going through the motions. But it wasn't until my mother got sick that I saw a man be a man. And I hate to say it like that. My dad was awesome. And Joe will tell you, man, how much I love my dad.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was my man. My dad, you talking about a day one. That was my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Grant was my heart, but to see how he stood over my mother and made decisions when they said, "Well, maybe Mr. Grant, if something happens, how do you feel about us pulling the plug?" And he was like, "Nope, because who I follow stamps life and death."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember when they diagnosed me with having Hodgkin's disease when I was 14 years old. And I saw my father grab the ob and defend what he could in his house. I saw my dad surrender himself to Yah. And you know, that old, I'm about to cry, damn. You know how they tell you that a man shouldn't cry. And I never, to be honest with you, I never saw my dad cry. I never saw my dad shed a tear. Not even when his mother died, not even when his father died. But I heard his pain and his prayers
Mm-hmm.
because my dad would go in that room where I was laying in the bed and I listened to him pray over me. And I'm talking about fervent, affectious prayers. You know, the fervent, affectious prayer of the righteous man availeth much.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw him operate in the time of need. He didn't back down. He didn't bail out.
Mm-hmm.
When times got hard, he didn't pack up his stuff and leave. I can't say I'm that man.
Yeah.
I can now. But 10 years ago, I wasn't that dude. When the going got tough, the tough got going.
Mm-hmm.
I bailed out. Why do you think I've been married 3 times? Because I wasn't willing to put up with foolishness. But it wasn't until I saw my dad nurture my mother back to health and to be there with my mother. Matter of fact, I think at that point he made a decision that if it's all said and done, I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go because my dad was always the healthy one in the family, and my dad died first. But after that 4 month period of being in the hospital with my mama, he was never the same. That is what a father does. He doesn't break under pressure. He doesn't pack up and leave when the going gets rough.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't up and get away. Look, man, a real man. Look, he doesn't pack up his bags and leave when he disagrees.
Mm-hmm.
He don't give away, or what we say in the Hebrew talk, he don't put away his wife. Why he don't put her away? Because he's going to stand there and fight for the vows they made. Do you understand that when he went, even though it is right by Hebrew customs to put away your wife, they ain't put away their wives for the most part. Because do you know that in the Hebraic law, that when they got caught in sin, the 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 punishment was death. Look at Joseph. Let's go. Let's look at Joseph. When Joseph took Miriam, when Joseph took Miriam to be his wife, she was already pregnant. This is the story that y'all don't get about the Messiah's mother and earthly father. When Miriam took on, when Joseph took on Miriam, she was already pregnant. She was already with child. They were betrothed. They weren't married yet. She was promised to Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
Man, a lot.
Yes, sir. Shalom, shalom, fam, shalom.
Shalom.
Hopefully everyone doing good today, man. Yeah, I'm home today, man. I was out, trying to take care of some business, but Ooh, man, it's getting cold out there.
I know, fam. I know. Malak,
Yes,
Malak,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
you,
sir.
you are the man that I go to when I have questions on Torah.
Yes,
And
sir.
I know we're going to end up going into Deuteronomy. I think it's the 22nd chapter, I think.
Mm-hmm,
But let's touch base on something. When Joseph took Miriam to be his wife,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
when they were betrothed, she became
mm-hmm,
pregnant with the seed of Yah.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What were they supposed to do to Miriam?
Shit, we're supposed to put her to death. You know what I'm saying? If she already pregnant, if she's already pregnant, number one, in Hebrewic mindset, Hebrewic customs, a woman is supposed to be a virgin until she get married. You know, when she's betrothed, there's a dowry that's paid, but the husband would probably like go get his land from his father, build a house on it. That's the whole parable. I go prepare a place for you and all this yada 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 in the so-called New Testament, the Brit Hadashah. But a woman that's already pregnant. Matter of fact, let's go back. Let's go back. Remember the story when Judah gave his sons, gave his son what's her name? I can't remember her name
Tamar,
right now. Tamar,
Tamar.
and he pulled out. And then the Most High put him to death. And then he sent this other son. He pulled out. The Most High killed him. And then so Judah wound up sleeping with him. And then come to find out later on that she played not really played a trick, but she said, hold on. He was supposed to give me the other child so I can, so she can have a husband. But Judah wound up going out there and sleep with him. And he thought she was a prostitute. And then that was about to put her to death. We found your daughter-in-law out there as a prostitute. So again, there you go right there. That's an example right there. Because the women didn't go around sleeping with having 5, 6 different baby daddies, and it didn't happen in Hebrew. So yeah, they would have stoned her. They would have put her to death.
So Miriam was supposed to be put to death.
Yes, sir.
But she explained to Joseph
Mm-hmm,
what had happened to her.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Well, let me rephrase that. The angel had to come to
mm-hmm,
Joseph and
mm-hmm.
explain to him, go ahead, marry her.
That's
She's
right.
pregnant. It ain't yours. We
Mm-hmm,
know it ain't yours because you ain't touched it yet. Go
mm-hmm,
ahead and go along with the marriage service
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and take this woman as your bride. Now, this is
mm-hmm.
what I want y'all to understand too. Why was Yeshua born? Why was Yeshua born from Bethlehem? Because they had moved around so people could not, man, they moved so people couldn't judge the marriage.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's why Mary and Joseph was on the move so they
Because
couldn't judge the marriage.
because under Hebrew custom they had to have the sheep come on now, help me, man, I can't think of the name of it.
So by Hebrew customs, when a man
Yeah,
marries a woman, the marriage bed is made with a white sheet.
that's right, that's right, there you go.
After they consummate, see, the wedding don't even take place until after. Really, the wedding don't take place. Well, the wedding takes place. The vows are exchanged. They go into the room. The witnesses stand at the door. The elders have made the bed with the white sheet.
Mm-hmm,
After the consummation happens, the
mm-hmm,
husband brings the white sheet out before 2 witnesses
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
shows them the sheet.
mm-hmm,
If there
mm-hmm.
is no blood on the sheet,
That's right.
then
Mhm.
he is able to go to the father and say,
Mhm.
what you gave me has
Right,
been
that's right,
tainted, and I
right,
want
right,
back all that I've given you.
right, that's
Mhm.
right. But
Absolutely.
that's why there's a dowry, because he's betting on that she's a virgin.
Right. So he pays the bride price. We went over this before in another lesson. The man gives the bride price. The father gives the dowry to the man to hold
Mm-hmm.
on to.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So the marriage is really a transfer of funds.
That's right. That's right. That's
A
right.
what do they call that? Something of wealth.
Redistribution of wealth.
Yeah,
He's
redistribute.
he's buying into the family. He's buying into because again, remember, if this is a girl, and let's say this man don't have let's say he don't have any sons in this case, right? So that means you remember Yah put in place where the daughters could get inheritance. But according to Hebrew customs, to keep that in there, what they would have to do is marry a man from their tribe. You know what I'm saying? So the man from their tribe, he would then take over the daughter's inheritance. So that's why there was a transfer of that wealth going back. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that that wealth or those inheritance stay within that tribal or within the tribe.
Right.
Yeah.
So when when Joseph realized after the angel came to him, he had to get Mary out of there.
Yes.
He had to get Mary out of there because
Mm-hmm.
he knew for a fact this is why she went to go visit Elizabeth.
He was saying if I forgot what they said. Because he was saying that he was talking about putting her away. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about putting her away. Well, now why would he talk about putting her away then?
Because the angel was telling him, "Don't put her away.
Don't put her away. You
This
know,
ain't your,
exactly. Go ahead on. Go
this
ahead.
ain't your child. Don't put this girl away." Because
Mm-hmm.
they gonna bury her up to her neck and stone the hell out of her.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
And inside of her is the salvation of the world.
Salvation of the world. Exactly.
This is why I keep telling people, man, that we need to resort back to our customs.
Mm-hmm.
We need to, as men, we need to take responsibility over our home. Because
Can I say?
go ahead.
Uh, 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 this is again. I'm coming late on the conversation, but I'm gonna show you how prevalent what you said. I was just talking to Melinda about what you're saying about how the men in Israel never put their wives away. You know what I'm saying? The men never turn. It's like now you see a lot of these brothers. They have children with these women, and then when they disagree with the woman or they can't run their household, they leave the woman or they put her away, and then they go make another family with another woman, and here it is now. Now you have all these mums or all these bastards running around here, and another man got to come in and take care of their children. See what I'm saying? This is right now going on in Israel right now, and most people will not talk about it. Most men will not talk about it. And again, this is why it's very important for us as men who know this of redeeming women. Not man, you not to have say you have to have all these women, but then you have to add value to them. You have to show them their value, show them the children their value, their worth. You know what I'm saying? Because again, where's your nation gonna come from? And bastards can't enter the kingdom. Bastards can't enter the
Bastards
kingdom.
can't enter the kingdom and they can't inherit.
No.
Exactly. Come on.
We have raised a generation of bastards who have no right to the kingdom. That was
Exactly.
the part of the plan. Let's get the man out of the house so the
Exactly.
order will be thrown off.
That's
This
right.
way, these women will then be look. It is not a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Remember this in Hollywood. Let's go to Hollywood. Let's go back to Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
You ever realize in Hollywood they always show the white man sleeping in another bed than the white woman? This is during our time. They always had the white man sleeping in a different room or a different bed than the white woman. But in the
Mm-hmm.
black shows, they always showed them in the same bed.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't coincidence. It's for a reason. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna give you a twofold reason. First of all, The our oppressor ain't really attracted to his woman.
Mm-hmm.
He'll defend her with his life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He'll defend her with her life.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? He ain't really attracted in her.
Mm-hmm.
Who does he exploit?
Mm-hmm.
He
The sister.
exploits the black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the first woman you see with no clothes on? Because
All
he's
the time.
enamored by the black woman's form.
That's right.
The one thing that we are able to do that no other nation is, we can make babies
Babies.
we can breed
Right. That's right. That's right.
because we are pulled from the soil.
But this go back full circle to everything you're saying, even back to the dietary law. Why you think we have the worst diet? Because when we look at our diet, our women right now, their menstruous, their menstrual is harder. You know what I'm saying? Their cycle is longer. You know what I'm saying? We not as fertile. Our women are not as fertile as they used to be. Everything these people do, man, is calculated. Everything they do is calculated. And until our people understand that fruit that Chua bit from is not just literal, but it's physical. It's physical. What we're eating, the fruit that we're eating, our diet, the food that we eat, the food that we eat spiritually also. You know what I'm saying? The things we watch on TV, the things we read, the things we associate to, we begin assimilated to that kind of mindset. That's why he put this kind of stuff in television, in radio. You know,
Listen, this is why the white sheet was so valuable, because the white sheet was a receipt of authenticity.
hmm hmm
It was to show that she was. I'm sitting up here with my shoulders all shrugged. I'm so hyped. It's to show that what I bought was genuine.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when you get them coins from the U.S. Mint and it has them numbers on it, one of one or one of this or one of that, to
Mm-hmm.
show or to prove its authenticity. That is
hmm
what that bed sheet was. So it was
hmm
no coincidence that when the Messiah was crucified and when they brought him out, when they went to the tomb to find him, the white
they
sheet
found a
was
sheep.
left.
That sheep was left. That's right.
Man, I want to shout in this thing.
That sheep was left. You know, the thing is this: we have romanticized the Bible. You know, when you look at the natural makeup of the male's anatomy and the female's anatomy, is there to procreate. Now, the feeling that you get is extra, but it's really designed to procreate. And a lot of our people have gotten to a point where, you know, they monetize sex. It's not. It wasn't made to be monetized. You know what I'm saying? From that standpoint, it was made to add value to our women and to our culture and to our nation. But it wasn't. It wasn't for like women out there right now. They'll sell a body for $40. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? A man release himself of his jewels. You know what I'm saying? And then you don't take care of your jewel. Your children or your loins and your jewels. That's your jewels. And again, we don't even get it, family.
Man,
We
we
don't even
plant,
get it.
but this is the deal. We plant. We man, let me tell you. What's her name? What's her name? I think it was either renew every breath or never surrender, never gave up. A couple of days wrote something in the chat and talked about husbandry. And
Mm-hmm.
and so I told her to go back on my Yimmy Yahoo channel and look up the lesson about husbandry. But I want to tell you something that I didn't mention in that lesson, and it really just hit home to me right now. We as black men have become professionals at planting seed and walking away from the damn soil.
Exactly.
So when our kids grow up, shalom, when our kids grow up and they got weeds choking them out,
Mm-hmm.
when our kids grow up as gangbangers, when our kids grow up drug addicted, when our kids grow up, especially our sons, when our sons grow up as women beaters, when our sons grow up as lazy deadbeats that all they want to do all day is sit down and play PlayStation and allow their women to go to work and make all the ends. When our men grow up and call themselves Hebrew Israelites and want to be polygynous and take on two wives, both of their wives working, they sit their butt at home. You know, when we have Hebrew Israelites that run around here and want to make the, I saw this dang video where this brother, he done took on all these dang women and called them his wives and got them fighting on the beach.
Wow.
That ain't what you do. Even let's not talk about polygyny, but let me just put something into perspective. Hell, when Abraham had two women, Sarah and Hagar, guess what? Sarah was the wife. Hagar was the concubine. There was a role. And let's go back to Joseph. Let's go back to Israel or Joseph. I mean, Yaakov. Yaakov married Leah. We were discussing this. Me and a friend of mine was discussing this. Do you understand that even though Leah was not beautiful to Joseph's eye, that Leah was really the woman that he should have married, because Leah was able to procreate. I got.
Go ahead. Get out.
I'm so shook up
Get it
right
out.
now.
Get
I
it
had to
out.
pause.
Get it out.
That Yaakov could have made the 12 with her by himself.
Is that well? But that's why the Most High he had to show the sister. And that's why she humbled herself.
But listen to this. The only way that that Rachel even was able to conceive was that she offered up the mandrakes to Yah.
That's my point. That's my point. Because y'all was about building a nation.
Right.
So she was like, you know what? Let me get my ass on board. Let me get out of my feelings.
And Stefan says something that's very important too. Abram had Sarai as his wife, or Sarah as his wife, and he did not remarry until after Sarah died. He didn't take my handmaiden and make a nation. Now listen, this is where we come to the fact of the leader of the house, or the Ab of the house, and the person that holds the house together, and why their roles should not cross. Even though Sarai or Sarah, in all righteousness, she was doing the right thing, because she was old and could not produce for her husband, and it was lawful for her to give her handmaid to her husband so that he can have an heir from his own loins. It was lawful. It wasn't a sin. But she heard the conversation that the angels had already had with Abram. And so she then bypassed the word of the Father to make this thing happen.
Well, the Most High was trying to show her to believe in Him. You know what I'm saying? He was showing her, you can't doubt anything that I want to do, I can do. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like I say, our people don't realize that the whole while, when we look at the book, you talk about husbandry. Husbandry, when we look at it from an agricultural standpoint, most of us get it, but we don't realize husbandry from a marital standpoint is the same thing. The Most High, he want a nation. You know what I'm saying? He can take and make a nation out of anything that he wants. That's his choice. You know what I'm saying? our people have romanticized what this is all about. We are supposed to be making a nation and having that nation to bring forward other righteous seed to serve Yah. You know what I'm saying? This is not about what I want. It's not about what you want. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, like I say, when you talk about polygyny, a lot of these guys get into these wives and all they want is sex. That's not what this is about. If you just want some women you want to sleep with, that's not what this is about. That's number one. You way off course. Number two, if you can't provide for one woman, how can you go get another woman? That's number two. You know what I'm saying? And again, like you said, dealing with the fourfold, Yaakov, the Most High was like, okay. When we look at this here, Rachel and Leah, they had maid servants. So the Most High was like, you know what? Hey, because you remember they wasn't married to him, but they still partake in the blessing. They still partaking in the blessing because the Most High taking this man's loin, the seed from this man's loins, and he's building a nation. You know what I'm saying? Because the greater inheritance is not what Joseph could give to him, but what the Most High can give us. That's what keep going over people's head. This is all about what the Most High give to us as a people.
We are trying. So what I'm trying to explain to them today, and it's crazy because we haven't really read over much scripture, which is something that we have rarely ever done. So we're gonna have to clean this up tomorrow. We're gonna have to visit this again tomorrow. But what I'm trying to explain to you is that if the chain is weak at any point other than the ends,
Mm-hmm.
it can't even be weak on the ends because you look up the weight at the ends.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, the father is strong, the son is strong, the man needs to be strong, the wife needs to be strong, and the children need to be strong
Mm-hmm.
to hold the weight and the burden of what it is that we're going to have to face. Our conquerors, our oppressor, knew that if you take the middle link out of the chain
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
insert yourself there,
Mm-hmm.
you can make the other two chains from the other end become weak as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, when it talks about putting fabric on clothing, excuse me, y'all. When y'all talks about you don't mix fabrics, you don't put cotton and wool together.
Mm-hmm.
You don't bind these fabrics together. You make pieces of clothes out of one type of fabric. Why is that? Why he's saying this? Because it loses its integrity. It
Mm-hmm.
loses its strength.
Mm-hmm.
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 You can't care for cotton the same way you care for wool.
Mm-hmm.
You can't care for them two sisters, Polly and Esther, the same way you. God dog. You can't, man. I'm stupid. You can't care for them the same way you care for cotton clothes. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you implant yourself in a pattern that you're not supposed to be in,
Mm-hmm.
you make
Mm-hmm.
whatever you're connected to weak.
Ah, what a lot of people don't understand this, even from that perspective, dealing with marriage. You know, this is why what it was Bel Pure when he sent them women to the men of Yasha Allah and they slept with them women and Moses went through there and cut their head off.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Cause they went into a covenant with the people that he didn't want them to go into a covenant with. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You know, we have enough systems out here if we want to do right. But here it is, our men are planting their seed everywhere but the right place. And then when they plant their seed in the right place, they still don't even take care of take care of them right.
You know what kills me? What's going on, Nani? What kills me about the black man is this. We will plant seed in any field that will allow us to put the tiller in the ground. Listen, as the military man in this, I'm guilty. I'm so guilty. So let me put myself out there first. I am so guilty. I was telling some people yesterday, there's a song by this MC called Corrupt. He's one of my favorite rappers, man. And Corrupt started the song by saying, I've been all around the world from Japan to Amsterdam. That's me. And I have planted my seed. I'm not bragging about it, but what I'm saying is I have plowed soil all over the world. And I know some seed take form. And we as black people have this incredible tenacity, especially black men, for thinking that our power is in what we conquer. And it's not. Your power is in what you take care of.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Hell, everywhere I went, I saw half-breed babies running around. Well, not half-breed, because they all black. You know,
right.
black man lay with any woman of any nation, the baby is black.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. They never surrender, never give up. That's very good. You told your son not to give his legacy to any female. That's one of the things I should try to teach these brothers. You know, is and like Jimmy said, when you're young and you don't know any better, you plowing a seed everywhere and not realizing that semen or that sperm, hopefully that don't offend people, is valuable. You know what I'm saying? Just like a woman's virginity is valuable. And we as a people, we have lost that valuable. Matter of fact, we have fallen so far that not only will we sleep with anything, you know what I'm saying? The women would just sleep with men, you know what I'm saying? Just because he looked good, just because he got curly hair, just because he got colored eyes, you know what I'm saying? And we have really fallen far as a people, you know? We have
Look,
really fallen far as a people.
on that very subject, we do not marry those. Look, I know I ain't the most handsomest dude in the world, but I take care of home.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? Now, when I was smaller and rocked up, I could catch anything I wanted to catch. You understand what I'm saying? And didn't have a dime in my damn pocket. Couldn't take care of nothing. I tried, but couldn't take care of Nathan. We got to
But
teach our black men to establish themselves before they ever go into covenant with a woman.
yeah,
And we as fathers need to start looking at the men that our daughters bring home
that's right.
and
That's
tell
right.
them, look, bro, you ain't ready for the responsibility of my child. Because
Man,
when I let you go, you should be able to handle, when I let my daughters go,
come
you
on with
need
it.
to be able to handle the same responsibility
That's
that
right.
I
Come on
have.
with it. That's right. That's right. That's what you're doing. You're transferring wealth. That's what they're doing. People don't even get that. You're transferring responsibility. That's what the marriage is about. You're transferring wealth and responsibility. Ah, think about it like this here. Our forefather, Yaakov, worked for 7 years. Negroes won't even work a week
7 years for one.
for one. Negroes won't even work a week. And not to mention, Laban even started changing things up in the middle of it.
He changed the contract 2 or 3 times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he stayed honorable. Jacob stayed in honor. Ak. Ain't no way on the Most High's green earth. I'm building a company. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna let some nappy head Negro, if I have some daughters, take my daughter, you know what I'm saying, and risk losing what I've worked hard for Because some joker want to come in with his pants hanging off his ass. You know what I'm saying? You know, he lazy. All he want to do is play Xbox all day. You know what I'm saying? He's disrespectful. Ain't no way in the world, man. And our people have to understand that the mistakes that we have made, we should be Never Surrender said. We have to make sure that we don't allow our children to make the mistakes that we have made. That's what this book is about.
Man, I'm
We
gonna
have
tell
we
you,
we can't allow that.
man, the qualifications of a Hebrew man are not that damn hard. They're not hard. All you have to do is honor Yah and honor your brother. Look, when Yeshua HaMashiach said, I have two commandments. Love the Lord thy God with thy whole heart and thy whole mind, and to treat your neighbor as yourself. He was summing up how the Hebrew man should walk in the spirit. If you put Yah first, you're gonna love everybody else.
That's right.
It doesn't mean that you're gonna stumble. See, we got this bad habit of looking for perfection out of something that ain't perfect. Man, man ain't perfect. So we looking for perfection out of the imperfect. Even though the initial man was made perfectly. But when sin entered into the equation, it took that which was perfect and tarnished it. And that thing that was tarnished recreated itself. Why do you think it was taken out of the garden and removed from the tree of life? Heck, all you got to do is look in the 5th chapter of Genesis, and it'll tell you that Adam was made after the image of the Creator. But then Adam had children of his own that were made after his image. Flawed.
Again, I don't want nobody to take what I'm saying out of context. I don't want people to take this out of context. But our people didn't marry for love.
Well, yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Put it in the Hebrew context.
Okay. You ever put it in Hebrew context? When they
Don't
love,
put it.
okay. When I was talking about love, I'm talking about this Eurocentric mindset of love. If a man loves a woman, he takes care of her. He provides for her. He protects her. He teaches her. That's love. You know what I'm saying? Not, oh, baby, you just got some beautiful eyes. I just love your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Oh, baby, I love your backstroke, your front stroke.
Oh, baby, look at them lips. Oh, you got some sexy lips.
Exactly.
No, we didn't marry for that.
We didn't marry for that. You know what I'm saying? It's a union that was put together based on the fact that they was trying to preserve their inheritance, their nationality, their culture, their people. That's what that was basically about. And our people have fallen so far from that. It's like we have gotten so lost. So thank you, Yemi, for helping me correct, put that in perspective. But not a Eurocentric mindset of love. Yes.
We didn't. The Eurocentric mindset when it's concerning love is really all about intimacy. So when a woman says that she loves a man in the Eurocentric mindset, is that he is the provider for her and nobody else, and she is tied up to him and him alone. The product of love in the for a man in that process is that she got some fire, that she can cook, and that anytime I want it, I can get it. That had nothing to do with the plan. The plan was for us to go out, be fruitful, multiply, and subdue the land, and all that was in it.
That's right.
So love had to be provided with sacrifice.
That's right.
Do you understand that when a man loves a woman, the first sacrifice he makes is the woman?
That's right.
I'm about to make this thing make sense. Hallelujah. Look, women, when a man truly loves you, you actually become his initial sacrifice.
Right.
Because when a man is in the Hebrew sense, when a man enters into you and breaks your hymen, your
That's right.
blood is spilled,
That's right.
which
That's right.
means you become his initial sacrifice. It
Exactly.
ain't the bride price that's a sacrifice because ain't no
Mm,
blood shed.
mm,
It
mm,
ain't the dowry that's given to it.
mm,
It's not even the written contract
mm,
that the fathers have that
mm,
the father has with your husband.
mm, mm.
The what binds the deal is your sacrifice. And the
Let's make sense.
sacrifice is your virginity. So sisters, let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you. You need to go back and find the joker that broke your virginity, because that's who you really tied to.
That's right. 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 All right. That's right. Hold on, man. Hold on.
You wondering why? Man, I'm about to do this. I'm about to do this. Sister, you wondering why you can't get over your first love?
Right.
You wondering why you can't get over the first man that, okay, now I'm not talking about if you was molested or any of that. That's a different subject. We're not going to talk about that at all. But your first love, the first person, especially if you was a virgin and that dude took your virginity, because he sacrificed you. Man, man, I'm about
Okay.
to go ahead.
Okay.
Here
Do me a
come the
favor.
scriptures, y'all.
Joseph, do me a favor. Get Exodus 21. Get Exodus 21. I forgot my main sword in my truck, so y'all, I'm gonna stumble through this here. But give me Exodus 21. Give me Exodus 21 out and start off at verse 10. Give me verse 10. And we're gonna make this make sense.
Verse 10 says, if he takes another wife, he shall not diminish her food, her clothing, and her marriage rights. I'm reading New King James Version. And if
Okay,
he
go, keep going.
and if he does not do these for her, then he shall let her go out free without paying money.
Go ahead.
He who strikes a man,
Oh no, my bad. Go to 22. Go to 22 and start off at 16. Give me 22 and 16. Exodus 22 and 16.
if a man entices a virgin who is not betrothed and lies with her, he shall surely pay the bride price for her to be his
Hmm.
wife.
Go ahead.
If her father utterly refuses to give her to him, he shall pay money according to the bride price of virgins.
That was Jimmy just said. That's what Jimmy's talking about right there. Read it again out. Let's make this make sense.
If,
That was
if a
Jimmy
man
talking about right there.
if a man entices a virgin who is not betrothed and lies with her, he shall surely pay the bride price for her to be his wife.
Exactly, because what he did was he just sacrificed her. He took away her price. He took away her value. He, if the money didn't make her valuable, her virginity. Once you broke that, that's it.
Hey,
That's it.
let's make this make some sense. Let's tie this up. Aki, go find where Judas betrayed Yeshua HaMashiach and he received the 30 pieces of silver. I want y'all to understand that. Do you understand that the 30 pieces of silver was almost the same as the bride price?
It was. It was. It was.
It was the
Huh?
bride price.
It was a bride price. It was a bride price.
So when Judas Iscariot betrayed Yeshua or betrayed Jesus, he got a bride price.
Hey, like Stephon Green said, you broke it, you pay for it. That's right.
You dang right. If you
You
break it,
broke it,
you
you
bought it.
paid for it. You bought it. That's right. That's right. You bought it. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? If the father didn't agree, you heard what he said. If the father didn't agree to it, you still had to pay.
Pay. And you may get stoned.
Matthew
We
26.
go ahead. Matthew chapter
Uh,
26.
Matthew 26:14. Then one of the 12 called Judas Iscariot and went unto the chief priests, and he said unto them, what will you give me, and I will deliver him unto you? And they covenanted with him for 30 pieces of silver. And from that opportunity, he sought to betray him.
So when Judas betrayed him, he betrayed him for the bride price. Now let me tie this all up. Yeshua HaMashiach's crucifixion happened in such a way because it had to happen in its specific order. Pilate could not kill Yeshua. Pilate could not kill Yeshua because Pilate was not a priest. And a priest cannot, and a person that's not a priest cannot make a sacrifice. That's why Pilate washed his hands.
Right, he backed away, exactly.
It was a ceremonial sign of showing that whatever happens ain't on me. It's on those who brought him to me. Well, who brought the Messiah? The priest.
The priest was right. That's
Why was the Messiah put up against Barabbas? Because you have to have a scapegoat when a sacrifice is made for an atonement.
That's right. That's right.
So one goat has to die and the other goat gets to live.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do you understand that when they freed Barabbas, they took Barabbas out of the city? That's the exact same thing that the priest did with the scapegoat after it was all done. All the sins were put onto the lamb that was sacrificed, and the scapegoat was escorted out of the city and released in the wilderness. Man, I could go on about this all day because people don't understand the significance. The priest had to give up Yeshua. That's why Judas Iscariot, who was a zealot, who was a priest in his own right, had to offer up Yeshua. It had to pass down the line of priests. There were priests that killed the sacrifice. There were priests that then offered up the blood of the sacrifice to the Father. What was the high priest? Why was Joseph of Arimathea was a priest? He had to be in the line. There were 3 priests in the line. Do you understand when there's any sacrifice made, there are 3 priests that are in the line of that sacrifice before it makes it to the Father? Man, I could preach this. I could teach this all day. Only one of the priests could make it behind the veil. But there are 3 priests in the line of any sacrifice.
Brother Joseph, do me a favor. Give me Proverbs. I just had it. Give me a second.
I'm sorry, y'all. This is going to be over a 2-hour lesson because we done got in the spirit again. The Ruach done took over. And if you have an opportunity, if you have the ability to share this out, please share it out on your platforms. Please like, hit the thumbs up button, do all that stuff.
Give me Proverbs 18 and 22.
Proverbs 18:22. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from Yah.
Okay. Never Surrender had a question.
I think I saw that. Let me answer that. Let me answer that just from a Hebraic understanding. Now, remember, the scriptures were written in Hebrew, translated into Greek, Latin and Greek, and get into English. Okay. So just from a Hebraic understanding of 1822, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. That's the English translation of the scripture. Understand in Hebrew, he who finds a wife finds good. That's tov, right? You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Tov is functionality. What is the function of Hebrew? What is the function of us? What is our function, the man and woman? Be
To
fruitful and
procreate.
multiply and replenish. So who finds a wife finds function, finds functionality.
That's right.
Because remember, the strong provider of the house. Without a woman, you have no house.
That's right. Come on with it. Come on with it.
Without the man, you have no house or home. Without the woman, without those two coming together, you have no house. You have no home. You have no functionality.
That's right.
You have no continuation of the seed. You have no distribution. You have no conduit through which the wealth, the heritage, the history, the culture of the family can be passed forward.
Come on now.
So in the Hebrew, you don't find that bachelor and that all the single ladies. You don't find that like my wife said, that BNS in our culture. One run around talking about I'm a bachelor, my bachelor pad. One run around talking about all the single ladies. No.
That's right. Come on with it.
In order for the man and the woman to come together to operate in the functionality of what the Father had called to them, they had to come together. They had to join together, become one flesh, and build a home. In order for the heritage and the heritage, the history, the culture, the language to be passed forward, they had to come together to find functionality. To find function, to find the tone.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So they didn't objectify a woman, saying a woman is a thing. No. Again, because as Peter told us, Jimmy led us to 1 Peter, talking about giving honor unto the wife as the weaker vessel, not weaker in terms of physical strength. Because in the childbearing, the man that process would kill a man.
That's right. Come on with it.
Women. When you talk about pain threshold, a woman has a higher pain threshold than a man. Women handle sickness better than men.
Come on.
Facts.
Well, when a man gets sick, it's like, oh, baby, I need you to rub my head. I need you to fix me some soup or whatever. A woman walk around sick, you really won't even know it.
She done worked all week sick.
Okay, and so for the functionality of our nation, for the functionality of the kingdom, and this is going back to the foundation of what Yim has given, Mori Yim has given us. We've got to get our functionality back. The only way we can get it back is for the man to be who the Father called him to be, and for the woman to be what the Father called her to be.
Repeat it.
Okay, that's the only way. And we picked up the ways of the ways of the heathen. When he told us, he said, don't intermarry with them, don't what's that word they use? Integrate with them. You do commerce with them.
Yeah.
You share truth with them, but you don't intermingle with them. I'm gonna give y'all an example. I'm gonna give you an example of this. Even as jacked up as we are in this society, I'm gonna give y'all an example of functionality in terms of the Arab, in terms of the Hebrew. It's in our DNA. You're gonna see this. I'm gonna give you the names of two men who are vilified in the media and society has vilified these men. I'm gonna give you Hebrew men, and to my knowledge, they weren't even the truth. Joseph Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
and Mr. Williams sisters.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Roy.
First and last name is Williams, but Venus and Serena. Now, Joe Jackson. That name, Joe Jackson, you say that name in public and everybody turn up their face. Everybody say, oh, he was this and he was that. But I want y'all to just listen to me. Joe Jackson and his wife, they raised their children up in Gary, Indiana, in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to just use the sons for an example, those 5 sons. This man raised 5 sons. You ain't heard about any of them being in prison or in jail. He raised 5 sons. He trained them in a craft,
Mm-hmm.
and they were the best on the planet at what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And they became fruitful, and they were able to take care of the resources that they've come together and built. It's going to sustain several generations.
Mm-hmm.
Same way with Richard Williams. There go Richard Williams. That name Richard Williams. Now he this and he that, but he raised 2 young women in the hood in Watts. Is it Watts? They grew up in Watts, or was it Compton? One of them.
Yeah, and he was from Shreveport, Louisiana. Shout out to my town,
Yeah,
Shreveport.
yeah,
Bullshit.
yeah. He and his wife came together, raised those 2 young ladies. They, to this day, they're the queens of tennis. But you look at those men. I'm gonna show you what the heathen does to our men. They have nothing good to say about Joe Jackson. They have nothing good to say about Richard Williams. But you look at how their homes, and just as Brother Malak was teaching, that wealth that was built in that family. And the wealth transferred to their family because these men and their wives had respect to the home, had respect for their roles. Y'all follow what I'm saying? And that's even in jacked up America with men who did not even understand. Men and women didn't even understand who they were. But just because that's in our DNA, and if we learn it, y'all excuse my phone. In our DNA, it's an example of what can happen when a man and a woman come together and they respect their roles and they operate in their role and then become functional in their role in the home. But when you have remember I was speaking of that alpha, that masculine energy. What they've done, or what they've attempted to do, is emasculate the Hebrew Israelite man, because that energy, that masculine energy, builds nations. That masculine energy, coupled with the feminine energy of his wife, builds homes, builds nations, builds careers, builds wealth, builds renown. And that's why whenever they find an alpha male, they want to emasculate him or break him down, because they know that if they allow that to move in the direction that the father had intended, they're in trouble.
They would never be able to stop what it is we intend to do, because it's so embedded in our DNA with us not being into the truth. If we still take on that role, look, we are supposed to be priests to a nation. Do you understand that every culture that we are embedded in, they look to us not just for entertainment, but they dress like us. They want to dance like us. They want to move like us. Do you understand? They try to talk like us. They say, oh, y'all are so ghetto, but they take all of our words. So much that every time we make a word, they have to throw it in their dictionary so they can keep up with what we say, and they want to be you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look, Tommy Hilfiger didn't make Hilfiger clothes for black folks, but guess what? We got it and we freaked it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everything we put our hands on, we can make it better.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is that when we operate outside of our prescribed function, that which was supposed to be good, we make worse.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we have black on black crime? Because it has been embedded in us through some codes that were started in the 1700s that taught the black people that if you weren't supposed to raise your hand, lift your eyes, fight back with white folks at all. But
Mm-hmm.
they were taught in their code that they did everything they could do in their power to keep us down.
Actually, they even passed laws that the white people that would not, operate in that function, you know what I'm saying? They were considered traitors.
Mm-hmm.
They were considered traitors.
Henceforth, where you get the name in lover.
Mm-hmm.
There you
Now
go.
they
There you
gonna
go.
call you a a nigger lover, but 90% of white men want to sleep with black women
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
because they
Mm-hmm.
know they ain't got what our sisters have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look at it. They have even got our sisters so brainwashed that their curves, they don't like their curves. It wasn't until a few years ago when Kim Kardashian started getting herself injected with collagen to try to mimic the black woman that now the black woman embraces her curves. She
Mm-hmm.
embraces, you know, running around here with blonde hair. Do you understand that blonde hair is a sign of a disease?
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand, according to scripture, that pale skin is a sign of a disease?
Mm-hmm. Do me a favor, brother Joseph. I want you to go to Exodus chapter 1. Sister, no surrender. Matter of fact, all you sisters, ask yourself a question. Did y'all got sons or daughters? Looking at the state of Israel, I'm not talking about Israel that's awakened. Man, you can keep a clothing if you want to. Ask yourself a question. Now that you know not only what a virtuous woman is, but what a righteous man is, just think about how hard it is for you to find a righteous or virtuous woman to marry your daughter, or find a righteous man to marry your to righteous man to marry your daughter, or find a righteous woman to marry your son. Just imagine the damage that the adversary has done to us. Just imagine what the adversary has done to us. But do me a favor. Read Exodus 1. Exodus 1 and read on down. Start at 1 and 1 and start on down.
Now these are the names of the children of Israel who came to Egypt. Each man and his household came with Jacob. Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah. Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin. Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. All those who were descendants of Jacob were 70 persons, for Joseph was in Egypt already. And
Stop
Joseph
right there. No, stop right there. Read that last verse. So how many people was in Egypt?
and all those who were descendants of Jacob were 70 persons, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
Joseph was already in Egypt. So that's so it says 11 of the 12 tribes of Israel was with Jacob, and the 12th one was already in Egypt.
Mhm.
Do me a favor, go to Numbers 1 and 1. Go to Numbers 1. Go to Numbers 1 and 1 and start off at 1 and 1.
Numbers 1:1.
Bring it out,
Now Yahweh spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the tabernacle of meeting on the first day of the second month in the second year after they had come out of the land of Egypt, saying, take a census of all the congregation of the children of Israel by their families, by their fathers' houses, according to the number of names, every male individually, from 20 years old and above, all who are able to go to war in Israel. You and Aaron shall number them by their armies. And with you there shall be a man from every tribe, each one the head of his father's house. These are the names of the men who shall stand with you. From Reuben, Eleazar, the son of Shadur. From Simeon, Shemiel, the son of Jerishali. From Judah, Neshan, the son of Amminadab. From Issachar, Nathanael, the son of Zuar. From Zebulun, Eliab, the son of Helon. From the sons of Joseph, from Ephraim, Elishama, the son of Ammihud. From Manasseh, Gamaliel, the son of Pedhazar. From Benjamin, Abidan, the son of Gideoni. From Dan, Ahizar, the son of Ammishaddai. From Asher, Pagiel, the son of Akron. From Gad, Elisaph, the son of Duel. From Naphtali, Ahara, the son of Enan. These were chosen from the congregation leaders of their fathers, tribes, heads of the divisions in Israel. Then Moses and Aaron took these men who had been mentioned by name, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they recited their ancestry by families, by their fathers' houses, according to the number of names, from 21 years old and above, each one individually. And Yah commanded Moses, so he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai. Now the children of Reuben, Israel's oldest son, their genealogies, by their families, by their father's house, according to the number of names, every male individually from 20 years old and above, who were able to go to war. Those who were numbered of the tribe of Reuben were 46,500.
Stop. Just right there, family, you see that there was 46,000 from 20 on up. It's not talking about 19 on down. And for every family, they have to at least have one of firstborn to become a family. So if you have 46,000 of just the tribe of Reuben, so that means, like Yemi said, they was doing some procreating. This is just one of the sons. Somebody give me the math. Yemi, do me a favor. Do 70 souls times 400. Just do 70 souls times 400. Cause my phone is tripping, Yemi. Do me 400 times 70. And tell me what you got.
280,000.
Not times, I mean plus. My bad, plus. I said times, I mean plus, bro. My bad. Y'all excuse me.
You said 70 plus 400?
70, yeah, 70. There's 70 souls. So it's times, right? Times 400. Yeah, I was right. No, I was right. Times
So
400.
That's 280,000.
No, that's 28,000. My phone just cleared up.
70 times 40 is 28,000. No,
Yeah,
28,000.
28,000. That was 28,000.
70 times 40.
70 times 400. 70 times 400. My phone just cleared up.
That's 2,800.
It's
2,800. Yeah. I'm doing it with a calculator.
You do the work calculator. 400 times 70, right?
Oh, 400. You said 40.
No, 400.
My bad. I said 400.
I was giving
400.
I'm just doing the numbers you gave me.
I'm sorry.
So 20,
I'm sorry.
28,000, right?
28,000. That's so if every let's say that every person had one child, that's 28,000. And here it is. Oh, the sister put it up there already. She already put it up there. Look, she saw it already. Thank you, sister. I just see
Got me running around here looking stupid.
it. But my point is, Reuben had 46,000 just out of the loin of Reuben. Out of the loin of Reuben, he had 46,000. You have 11 other brothers. How many did they come out with in the multitude out when they came out of Egypt with 600,000?
That was
600,000 men.
that was just the men that were
Just the
numbered.
men.
Just the men that were numbered when they came out of Egypt was 600,000.
They say that it was about 3 million souls
About 3 million souls.
that walked out of Egypt.
Because the Levites weren't numbered.
Yeah, the Levites
There
weren't
you
even
go.
counted
There you go. The Levites weren't even numbered.
because their inheritance was Yah. They didn't have an earthly inheritance. Their inheritance was Yah.
That's right. Just showing you that when this is why Pharaoh was talking about the Hebrews was multiplying
Like rabbits.
like rabbits. They're gonna become more and mightier than us. The adversary, he knows that now. This is why he do everything to stop us from procreating. We kill a year. We abort about 350,000 babies a year.
Mhm.
Let that resonate in your head for a minute.
Along with
We
that,
abort. Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was just saying we abort about 350,000 babies a year. Not to mention how many babies are abandoned from having, being put up for adoption, or babies are not being raised by a righteous mother or righteous father.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look at all the souls we're losing.
It was all in the plan
It's all in the plan.
to destroy. This is why I'm saying, without having a strong black man in the home, it destroys the structure of the family
Mm-hmm.
because the woman now has to take on a characteristic that she
That's
was
right.
not intended to carry, and
That's
that
right.
was to be the provider
Mm-hmm. That's right.
and
That's
the
right.
protector.
That's right.
Now, I know a bunch of women that will not get down with what we're saying, but it's about functionality. It ain't about your feelings.
Look, the sister put a birth control. You're right, sister. Birth control.
Mm-hmm.
We have ruined the wombs of our sisters. Look, it is not by coincidence that when
Jimmy went out.
Yemi
What you
went out.
brought?
So let me finish until he comes back. Yeah, you had between abortion, and birth control, and state-sponsored sterilization, and the lynching, and the incarceration. All of those things were an organized, concentrated effort to stop us from procreating.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
After after slavery, in those southern states, we outnumbered them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We outnumbered them. That's why they didn't want us. That's why, from a historical perspective, coming out of slavery, we had the protection of Reconstruction for about 10 years. We were in the Senate. We were in Congress. We were governors. They had black governors. You had black mayors, and the so-called black people had outnumbered them in the South,
Mm-hmm.
and so they
Mm-hmm.
had to come up with the Klan. They could not allow. They took away the right to vote. They started these again state-sponsored sterilization projects. The Lend-Lease program. They were incarcerating our people because we were going to take over the South just in sheer numbers if they didn't do something. And they're still doing it today. They have to keep us at right around 12 or 13% of the population. They got to keep us there because if it gets
that's right, man. They don't see that, man. Come on with it.
If it gets anywhere near 15, 17, 20%, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
So this is why, again, with all I get understanding, this is what COVID was about. Y'all remember when they found out that COVID was disproportionately affecting African Americans? It was after that. It was at that point they started talking about, okay, we need to open back up. Y'all go back to work, send the babies back to school, and even Mr. 45 has just recently said that. Talking about he says we're going to vanquish COVID, we're going to vanquish this and that. They're giving the impression that that everything is easing up because they want to put our people back out there, and they're using these terms like herd immunity, and the other term they use. That now the plan is just let everybody catch it, and if enough people catch it, then we'll develop the population will develop immunity to it. Well, what they mean is, if everybody catch it, then let people catch it, because we're the ones that's going to be disproportionately affected by it, and our population, our numbers have to go down. They got to get our numbers down to keep them within a certain percentage.
That's right.
And right now, black men make up 6% of the population. We're 6% of the population. And they need to get it down even further than that.
Let's go even a little further. Homosexuality now is lesbianism. They're pushing that through Black Lives Matter because they're trying to keep that number down. You know what I'm saying?
Homosexual agenda, yeah.
The homosexual agenda. All this is targeted at, again, keeping us at 12, 13% because the report had already came out about 2, 3, 4 years ago that so-called Caucasians or white people are not. I think 2 years ago they had more deaths than they had births.
Yeah, they're declining.
So they're declining. And it's just not in the United States. This is happening in Europe as well. Yeah. So they know this. They know this. And for us as a people, the more they oppressed us, just like Pharaoh, the more they oppressed us, the more we multiplied. You know what I'm saying? No matter what these people throw at us, we still procreate. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing that went on in physical Egypt is the same thing going on in spiritual Egypt. It hasn't, they haven't really changed. You know what I'm saying? They just adapted. They just, just adapted. And we have to realize that, there's a lot of dead amongst us. When I talk about dead, I'm not talking about physically dead. I'm talking about spiritually dead. So we have to even include that, because out of that 13% of so-called Negroes, what it is, dealing with the male and the female population amongst Israel, we probably make up less than 1% of that. We probably make about less than, I would say probably less than 1% of that are enlightened Hebrews. Everybody else is still trying to assimilate into white culture and Western ideology and stuff like that.
Yemi, are you on?
I think he must have stopped. He came back on. Oh, there he is. There he is.
Okay.
But Yemi. But yeah, so we have a lot of work, and it's good to see Yemi doing what he's doing.
Can you hear me?
You can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, check this out. Check this out, because I want to say this before I forget, because I'm old. God dog it, you made me forget. It was right on the tip of my tongue, then I forgot. Oh, but this is why they push the agenda of self-sterilization,
That's right.
the day after pill, all this other stuff. Now, if you go back to when they had the riots in Charlottesville, Virginia, what was the chant that those young men were chanting? The Jews will not replace us. The Jews will not replace us. And
Mhm.
blood and soil. Blood and soil. The Jews will not replace us. Do you understand that them alt-right jokers and them KKK jokers know who the real Jews are?
That's right. Hell yeah.
They ain't worried about them white guys that are making the rules
Mm-mm.
because they already know what the penalty is for them.
Mm-hmm.
When I
Mm-hmm.
read to you Revelations chapter 2 and 9, and Revelations chapter 3 and 9, the penalty is already death for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They ain't worried about them. They worried about the one. They fear you in everything that they do. Look at what the Karens do. They're barbecuing in the park. They're not supposed to be out. Help me, I feel threatened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're so afraid of you that you can sit on your own couch in your own house eating a bowl of bowl bluebell ice cream and get shot down.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I thought I walked into my own house.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the logic behind that one. Oh, so this Negro broke into your house and rearranged all your furniture?
Nah.
Yeah.
Alton
You know, you
Smith.
know,
Alton
you know.
Smith. Alton Smith. I was afraid for my life, so I shot him. You got a gun, a billy club, a flashlight, and a stun gun and pepper spray, and you was afraid of an unarmed black man. This goes to show you that they know who you are. Look, I am even willing enough to say that over 90% or maybe over 80% of the white police officers that are in the system right now patrolling the streets are racist and are
Mm-hmm.
members of one of those two organizations,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the South.
Mm-hmm. Not to beat up on the sisters, but I want the sisters to look at something else too. There's here's another thing that they put out there for the sisters. They make more money than the men. Now you don't see, and it's all by design because what this man do is he takes the so-called black woman and he puts her in a position where she's making just as much or more money than her husband. You know what I'm saying? So now there's a bad enough he done took her out of the house, but with his woman, she don't make more than him. She don't make just as much as him. You know what I'm saying? So they use that. They use the financial system against us.
Mm-hmm.
They use the educational system against us. You know, because women say, well, it's hard to find educated brothers. I can't find a brother just as smart as me. And it's the deal. They make sure they don't have enough jobs to have for the black men, or the jobs that they have that the black men can take. The only thing he could do is he could take a fast food job, or to put him out there with drugs and put all this flashy stuff out there so he go sell drugs and then get caught up in the system. And now it's hard for him to find any kind of job, you know. So again, everything is done, you know, to divide and conquer, the whole Willie Lynch thing. You know, if you divide us up on economics, you divide us on education, you divide us by skin color, you divide us by age. You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand that the man was designed to go out there and be the so-called breadwinner. But when the woman is the breadwinner, she figure, well, what I need with a Negro for if I got you know what I'm saying? But it's just saying, well, you know what? We have two incomes. Even though I'm making more money than him, let's take my money and his money and build something for us as a family. It's not a competition.
No, and then the
I know
funny
you. I
thing
know you.
is,
I know you're laughing. You.
then
Look,
No,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
no,
Go ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
you right on it.
I And
Go
then the
ahead, go ahead.
funny thing is, listen, being college educated is one thing. But if you don't have any place to use what you learned in college,
That's right. That's right.
you might as well tell your sons while they're in high school to
Mhm.
get involved in one of those vocational programs that are
Right.
offered and learn a skill. And
Right.
then if you can afford to go to college, go to
Mhm.
college so you can be able to manage the money that you can learn from your skill.
That's right. That's right.
Skilled laborers, that's why they have labor unions and they try to
Mhm.
keep black folks out of them because
Mhm.
they know if they can control the labor practices, they can control the
Mhm.
money
That's
that
right.
comes in,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
means they will stay at a sustainable wage. Why do you
Mhm.
think that most young white men don't go to college?
Mhm.
Because they're learning skills, pipe fitters, electricians,
Mhm.
uh,
Mhm. Mhm.
refrigerator and air conditioning, how
Right.
to
That's right.
build a house. They learn how to build a house and then they pay Mexicans to build a house for them. They pay them pennies and they sit back and watch the money. How to read blueprints, all this stuff that they do. But a brother they won't allow in that circle
Mhm. Mhm.
because of the fact that they don't want us to increase in our wage gap.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Look, man, it don't make any sense for us. The black woman per capita is the most educated woman on the planet.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Why do they give you those loans and those grants?
That's right.
Because if we can get her to go to college and start feeling some certain way about herself, she will put down the black man, and we don't have to kill him. Hell, he already dead.
Ak. This was again hitting on what you just said. Our women don't realize that they're a double minority. You are so-called black and you a woman. You know what I'm saying? Because the biggest minority on the planet is a so-called white woman. So when he passed laws, to help minorities, that helps his people. He's smart. He know his woman can go out there and get those things because she's a minority. She's a minority.
They don't
But
care
we too busy
about
fighting.
you.
That's what I'm saying. Everything is a smoke screen. Everything is a smoke screen, and our people can't see that.
They don't care about you. This is why I'm telling us, why are we voting on who's going to oppress us? What
Yeah,
side of the belt? Look, it's either you get beat with a belt or you get beat with a switch. But either way, you get
get beat.
beat.
Right.
I listen to Ice Cube, man, and I respect the brother because he had an idea and he ran with it. But the fact of the matter is, you can have a platinum plan, but the word says that no man shall redeem you. You are in this position because our ancestors broke the law, statutes, and commandments. And the
Mm-hmm.
only way to fix that is to look at what we did. Go to Exodus chapter 1. Let's go to Exodus chapter 1. I want to pull out two different scriptures. You ain't going to fix nothing that's going on by marching. I showed you the other day in Exodus 23 that you don't need to get involved in no big groups over a lie. I already showed you that the other day. Let's go
Mhm.
to Exodus 1. Go to the part where he says that and the father heard the cry of the people in Israel in Egypt.
Is that in one?
I think it is. Is it in one or is it in three? You know y'all messing with the dyslexic one of the group. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna bring this out real quick. I'm going off. I'm going off of memory. So I'm old. My memory ain't good, but I know what I'm bringing out.
It's 3 and 9. 3 and 9.
Okay, go to 3 and 9. I knew it was in either one. And
It says, now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel has come to me, and I have also seen the oppression which the Egyptians oppressed them. Come now, therefore, and I will send you to Pharaoh, that you may bring my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt.
okay, now go to 2 Chronicles 7:14. I want you to read all of that because I know that's the dedication of the temple, but they need to understand where I'm going with this. I need to bring this out.
2 Chronicles what?
Is it 7:14? Go up to like 12 or 13.
12, then Yah appeared to Solomon by night and said to him, I have heard your prayer and have chosen this place for myself as a house of sacrifice. When I shut up heaven, that there is no rain, or command the locust to devour the land, or send pestilence among my people. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and heal their land. Now my eyes will be open and my ears attentive to the prayer that is made in this place.
Okay, go to now. I want you to find Proverbs 28:9 too, but we're gonna hold that. I'm gonna go ahead and explain this. First things first, people. If you want change to come, you first of all need to cry out to the Father. Okay, so for change to come, you have to be a unified people, and you need to cry out to the Father. Okay, this is the only way it's gonna happen. All this foolishness, and then I had them read Chronicles because you have to first, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray, and then turn from your wicked ways, then he will hear from you. You know why he ain't heard your prayers for the last 400 and some odd years? Why we haven't found any ease? Why we haven't found any rest? Go ahead and tell them why we haven't found any ease and any rest. It's all to do with us. It really ain't had nothing to do with them folks that got us oppressed. Why ain't we found no ease? Why we ain't found no rest?
All Israel has transgressed our laws. Daniel.
Go ahead and find that too. But I want you to understand all this praying you doing is for naught. What is it? What does Proverbs say?
Oh, Proverbs, yeah. You talking about
Is
he
it
don't hear the
28?
sins of the don't hear the sin. Go ahead.
Is it 28:9?
What chapter?
I think it's
28. Yeah, what says 28:9 up?
One who turns away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is an abomination.
Go up ahead of it. One verse ahead of it, I think.
One who increases his possessions by usury and extortion gathers it for him who will pity the poor.
Keep going.
One who turns away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is an abomination.
Listen, y'all don't hear your prayer if you ain't trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. It's right there in the book. Did you find the scripture in Daniel?
That should be Daniel 9. Go to Daniel 9. Daniel 9 and
How do we fix the chain? How do we get the oppressor out of the middle of the chain? You have to humble thyself, pray, seek his face, turn from your wicked ways. You need to observe the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Because if you praying and you ain't keeping the law, he ain't hearing your prayers. So if you getting blessed, guess who's blessing you?
Mm-hmm.
What were you looking for in Daniel 9?
All Israel has transgressed our law.
And I prayed to Yah, my Elohim, and and made confession and said, "O Yah, great and awesome Elohim, who keeps his covenant and mercy with those who love him and with those who keep his commandments. We have sinned and committed iniquity. We have done wickedly and rebelled, even by departing from your precepts and your judgments.
There you go. There you
Neither
go.
have we heeded your servants, the prophets, who spoke in your name to our kings and our princes and to our fathers and all the people of the land.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
O
There you
Yah,
go.
righteousness belongs to you, but to us shame of face as it is this day, to the men of Judah, to the inhabitants of Jerusalem and all Israel, those near and those far off, in all the countries to which you have driven them,
Mm-hmm.
because of the unfaithfulness which they have committed against you. O Yah, to us belongs shame of face, to our kings, our princes, and our fathers, because we have sinned against you.
Right. Hold on. Stop right there for 1 second. But you just read that last part right there. Read the last verse you just read.
O Yah, to us belongs shame of face, to our kings, our princes, and our fathers, because we have sinned against you.
Right there is also the precept when the guys keep calling, talking about confusion of face, is we light skinned it and some of us dark skinned it. That kills that right there. Could the shame of face or the confusion of face, or we're looking at the iniquities, our transgressions, our
Mhm,
shame.
mhm.
Go to John on the epistle of John. You gotta see, because they ain't gonna, a lot of people ain't gonna follow us, because every scripture we just given them is in the Old Testament. So I don't have to keep the law because I'm saved. Go ahead and read what sin is, because Christians don't understand what the concept of sin. But
First
John,
John,
but John makes it very plain. What's First John say?
1 John 3 and 4. Whoever commits sin also commits lawlessness, and sin is lawless. I don't like that. King James says, for sin is transgression of the law.
That's of the law. That's right. That's right. That's right.
So when you transgress the law, you are considered to be lawless, which means you
Mm-hmm.
have entered into sin.
Mm-hmm.
So when those people tell you you don't have to keep the law, it is a plot of the enemy so that you won't be able to be counted in the number. Go find me. If you love me and keep not my commandments, you will lie and the truth ain't in you. Go ahead, because evidently I guess it's leading us here, because this is how you mend the brokenness in the black family.
Repeat that one more time, Mark. I just told somebody that. I'll tell Levi that.
Yeah, you, by keeping the law, by getting rid of Christmas, by getting rid of Easter, by getting rid of New Year's, because the new year starts in spring. The Bible clearly tells you that. By getting rid of all these pagan holidays, Halloween, this which is coming up, and by just changing your diet, worshiping and resting on the Sabbath day, which means no buying, no selling, no laborious labor, um, nothing, no working a job. If you got a job and you work on Saturday, we understand, because we're in our captivity. You got to live, but these are the things that you do to observe the commandments, by putting down white Jesus, Caesar Borgia, um, by getting all those idols out of your house, that cross, and getting that dang crucifix with Caesar Borgia on it out your house, getting rid of that dang get oh, I'm messy. Get rid of that dang Lord's Supper photo that's in everybody's house. All them things. What's going on, Big Simple? Doing those things line you up with the Father. Listen, I understand that you can look at people and see that we all have flaws because that's one of the things that we do have. But we also have a right to repent for our flaws. And we're not blasting you, but we're trying to show you that Yah does not give you problems without an exit strategy.
Mm-hmm.
The law is your exit strategy. Do you understand that the law is what the earth is? Look, if the law was done away with, if the law was truly done away with, everything that functions in the universe functions according to the law.
Mm-hmm.
So if the law is taken away, you run back into, if you go and watch our lessons about Genesis, you run back into being in a void place without form and darkness.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we at, exactly.
Right. And this is where we're at right now. What
Mm-hmm.
did he do to the world? He had to speak light into the world. But this time, the light is coming with a sword. Or like they say in New York, with a sword.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to kill everybody. That lie that y'all call the rapture, it ain't what you think, baby.
Mm-mm.
The rapture is going to be just like when it talks about two will be in the field and one will be left and the other will be left behind. You want to be the person left behind. He who endures to the end. You don't want to be the one that's caught up because the script clearly tells you the one that's caught up is going to be like in the days of Moses. What happened to the people in the days of Noah? What happened to the people that got on the ship in the days of Noah? They drowned. They died.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they got y'all drinking the Kool-Aid for real, for real.
Mm-hmm.
And the sad part is I preach that foolishness. Oh, you going to get raptured away. If the rapture be true, then Jesus is going to make 2 appearances. 2 more. The Messiah
Hold
is
on.
going to come. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I'm trying to hold on. I'm trying to get this definition up to show these people what you're saying, but to bring it back in modern terms, so they can realize that the adversary has pulled a wool over their eyes. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead, out.
What
Go ahead,
scripture
on.
did
Go ahead.
you find? What scripture did you find, Brother Yosef?
1 John 2 and 3. Now by this we know that we know him if we keep his commandments. He who says I know him and does not keep his commandments is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
So you know that part where we was talking about on the other day when we were talking about the olive tav, and we were saying that the older ox, they put the yoke on him and then they connect the younger ox to him and they carry the same burden.
Mm-hmm.
And when we go back to where the Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach said, when the man said, didn't I cast out demons in your name? Didn't I do this, and the third in your name? And he says, oh, depart from me, oh, you workers of iniquity,
Yes.
because I never knew you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand if you don't keep the laws, the statutes, and commandments, he don't know you because you don't meet him on the Sabbath. Do you understand? Ooh wee.
I just put the I put the in the chat. I just put the etymology of rapture in the chat, and our people are looking for just like Yeshua Hamashiach. He came in the volume of the book. He had to fulfill the prophetic nature of the word, right? He had to fulfill what the prophets wrote about him, right?
Correct.
So if we are the people of the book, We have to fulfill the prophetic nature of the book. We have to fulfill the prophecies that were written in the book. Now, even though the word rapture is not in the book, you can't find that word, but you have to understand the adversary put things in front of your face to make a mockery of you. Now, if we look at rapture, we see an act of carrying off, right, from what that is, Middle French rapture, right? Seize, rape, kidnap. They did this to you, and then you went through this was part of your tribulation. So all people looking for the rapture and look for the tribulation, and here it is.
It already happened.
It already happened.
Mhm.
You were
It already happened.
you was raptured away. You've been raptured away since 1619.
Exactly.
Boy, it
You
got
know,
quiet right there.
so all people are looking for these things to happen. Again, like I did a video. An adulterous generation seek a sign, and they're not gonna see it because they're not understanding they're the people. In order to understand the book, in order to understand Torah or understand the Bible, you have to put the people who the book was written to, written for, written about. You have to put them back into the Bible.
Mhm.
Then you can understand what's going on.
That's a fact. Listen, y'all, I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm trying, the Father is leading me to shake you out of your sleep. We got to get you out of this Thessalonians 12:2 mindset. We got to get you out of the strong delusion because you still sleep. What's that scripture? Is it Thessalonians 2:22 and I mean 2 Thessalonians 12:2?
2 and
Hmm
12.
Yeah, that's what I meant. You know I'm dyslexic. 2 and 12.
Let's see. I don't think that's it. Which one are you looking for? What is it making reference to?
The strong delusion.
Uh, strong delusion. Strong delusion. Yeah, yeah. 2 and 10, and with all unrighteousness deception among those who perish, because they did not receive the love of truth that they might be saved. And for this reason, Yah would send them strong delusion that they should believe the lie.
Keep going.
hmm
Is that
Keep
it?
going. That
Keep
that they
going.
all may be condemned who did not believe the truth but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
What is unrighteousness? Not keeping the law.
Mm-hmm.
The strong delusion is, oh no, you don't have to. You go to church on Sunday. Oh, you can worship on any day. That's the lie you believe in. That's the Kool-Aid you drinking. And guess who gave you the strong delusion? He said, I'm gonna give you this delusion so you can think that you safe.
hmm
But guess what? You ain't safe, baby. You hell bound. I'm gonna give you this strong delusion. I'm gonna let you drink this Kool-Aid, yo. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let you drink it. Because you don't want to operate without it. So I'm gonna let you drink this Kool-Aid. And you gonna believe this lie. And after I get you to believe this lie, then I don't have to do nothing else really, because now you can't inherit the kingdom. You ain't worthy of it. He ain't gonna recognize you no way. And I know some of y'all are talking about, wow, that's a conspiracy theory. No, that's the truth. What y'all thinking about?
I'm trying to find. I lost it. Okay, looking at the word Jack. I put up on again. Did it come up? Hold on. No, it didn't come up. Shucks. I thought I put up on the chat the term jackass, right? The term jackass. Talking about the donkey. Our people don't realize this is how arrogant this man is, man. This man put things in front of our face, and he makes mockery of us all the time, all the time. Let me try to pull it up. I think it should come through. Nah, hold on. Okay, did it come through, Doc? Still ain't came through, huh?
Mm-mm.
Thanks, fam.
Uh, the donkey or the ass, it didn't come through on the chat.
No, I don't see it in the chat. You put it in the you may have put it in the private chat, didn't know.
Godly.
No, it's not in the private chat either. Go ahead and
I
just
don't know why
read
it's
it
not
to us.
coming up. But anyway, okay. The donkey or the ass, right? It's Africanu Asanias is a domesticated member of the horse family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wild ancestry of the donkey goes back to African wild ass. Now, when this man called us, when the Bible talked about the ass, we know the ass in what it is, Isaiah 4:1, right? Go get Isaiah 4:1 for me. No, it's 1 and 4 for me. Isaiah 4, no, 1 and 4. Go get that for me. The Most High, when we look at the way the scriptures are written, we have to understand the Most High put things in the Bible to see from a natural sense where we can see the spiritual implications of it. You know, when this man took us from Africa and he brought the donkey with him, he called us a jackass. Now, when you look up where the word Jake, the word Jake actually come where the word Jack actually comes from the word Jake. So when the man call you a jackass, he know that you are the donkey that the Most High is talking about in Isaiah 1 and 4. Because you a stiff-necked people. You could put a bridle on a donkey. You could try to make him till the ground. If he got a hard head, and he don't want to do what he want to do. You ain't gonna get that ground tilled. The same thing when the scripture talks about my sheep know my voice. When you look at the sheep, you can have a dog, you can have a horse, you can have a cow, you can have whatever other animal. They will go to almost anybody, but a sheep knows its master's voice.
Mm-hmm.
We have to start reading the book and also looking at the characteristics of the animals and look at what's really going on. The word is not just written to be parables, but when you look at them from a natural sense, they line up with us in many aspects. Well, I'm gonna say in all aspects. So, but anyway, I was trying to put the donkey in there so you could look at the definition of it, but again, it didn't pop up. But anyway, when he called us a jackass, go ahead and read that. Go ahead and read that.
It's 1 and 3 says the ox knows its owner and the donkey its master's crib, but Israel does not know. My people does not consider.
Now think about this. When we tell our people that they Israel, they'll say don't matter. That's your interpretation. Yada yada yada. We'll stiff neck people. That law is done away with. All that. So again, looking at the nature of a donkey, He don't know his order or his master's crib. My people don't even consider. We don't even consider we Israel. We think we Gentiles. We think we Hamitic. But when we look at the prophetic nature of the book, we look at the prophecies in the book. You have to fulfill what's going on in the book, because what did that is? What's that in Romans? The spirit of Yah says with my spirit that we are the people. Bear witness that we are the people. What that is? Romans. Where is it? Give me that right fast. Give me that right fast. Romans. I want to say it's 8. What is 14?
Um, for the Spirit Himself bears witness with our spirits. Verse 16, 8
That's
and
right. Yeah.
16.
Okay.
The
Okay.
Spirit Himself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yah.
So when we read this book, which is the spirit or the word of the Most High, His words are spirit, His word of truth. When we read this book, it should bear witness that we are the people of the book, because we have to fulfill everything that was spoken of in the book.
Facts. That's a fact. Look, everybody. To reestablish the black man in the home means that we have to close off that link of the chain. We can't allow the adversary or our oppressors to lock us out. We can't. We've already gone too far in this. The only way we're going to make it back is if we humble ourselves and pray and seek His face. The signs have already been. The signs of the seals have already started to open. Soon that white horse is going to come. If it ain't already showed up. Those horsemen are showing up. They got all these hurricanes happening. You ain't seen this many hurricanes in a year in your life. Oh, excuse me, hold on.
Well, another thing before, because I know you're getting ready to close out. Let me add one more thing dealing with restoring the black man, which goes along with what you said about adding the value. When we look at the Bible, the scriptures have put in place a so-called welfare system, but there were certain criteria that we had to meet to get those benefits. Like a woman had to be of age of 60, she had to be a widow, you know what I'm saying? Being that her husband died, things of that nature. When we look at the men, a man, just like the scripture says, if a man don't work, he don't eat. You know what I'm saying? But when we look at our people, we have the welfare system, we have Section 8, we have food stamps, we have all these things. And the trade-off is to take the man out of the house. You can't have a man live with you. So now you have the system being the husband. You know what I'm saying? He's telling the women how many babies they can have and things of that nature. So if you take the man out of the house but you're having babies, how did you get the babies? So they're making money off you. Now let's break down a socialist system versus a a capitalist system. When you allow Uncle Sam into your life, because make no mistake, they're trying to make this a not, and I'm not Yemi. I don't get into all the voting and all that, but let's make this make sense. In a socialist system, the government provides everything for you. But what that means is the government also tells you what to do and what not to do. And the capitalist system is based off commerce. You know what I'm saying? This country was supposed to be a republic, not a democracy. And being that it's ran like a democracy, we are the minority. So our vote is not going to matter anyway because the majority of the people don't share our same interests. You know, so we're voting to see who's the best oppressor, and that's what you have. You have, well, should I let Biden be the oppressor over me, or should I let Trump be the oppressor over me? People get mad when I talk about Barack Obama, but again, when he gave that $2 trillion stimulus check to the banks, how is it that the banks right now got that money, the $2 trillion, but you still have mortgages, you still have car notes, you still have all these things, student loans, you have all these things that you have borrowed, and you're paying back the interest on it, but yet the government give the banks bailout, and they don't pay nothing. You have our people need to wake up and realize what the smoke screen is.
That's a fact. And the only way to reestablish the black man in this is to keep them enlightened on who they are. Black women, we're raising a generation of what we call mumsars, or bastards. And bastards, like we said earlier, do not have the inheritance, cannot receive an inheritance, and cannot enter into the kingdom. They weren't even allowed to go into the temple, so there was no way for them to even be, for atonement to be made for them. They're doing this on purpose because they know that they want you to inhabit hell with them. They don't want the plan of Yah to take place. But that's why Yah is pulling people out of the matrix, equipping with this knowledge. This ain't a religion. I'm going to say this again. This is not a religion. This is not a religion, y'all. This is not a religious organization. We are people who are following the word of Yah. This is our faith. This is not a religion. That book is a binding contract between our Father who reigns in the Shamayim and his people. That's why it ain't for nobody else, because ain't nobody put up the blood for it. Does it make sense for your oppressor to have right in an inheritance to your property if he ain't signed on the contract? He ain't signed the contract. He ain't put no skin in the game. He ain't got no bloodshed, because every contract had to be sealed in blood. Our father Abraham, all those many years ago, when he separated those animals and laid them out, he signed the contract for his seed. Everything that was in his ashak, ooh boy, let me get it. I love that word. Everything that was in his ashak that day was covered by the blood of those sacrifices. And then they went back and renewed the contract through the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach. They made it even stronger. They doubled down on the contract. But you got to abide by the terms of the contract. There we go. How can you walk in the truth and say that you love him, but you ain't walking in the terms of the contract. And the beautiful thing about it is the Father don't write in small print. There ain't no small print to the contract. And he allows everybody to have the contract so they can see for themselves what the contract is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, never surrender, never give up. When you bring up those things, they get mad because they love their oppressor. I'm not no damn mumsar. We've got a father in the Shamayim in the heavens. We got a Ab, and we should be in his image. So listen, we'll be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. on the dot, teaching from the same line, trying to break down the systematic destruction of the black man. Malak, that clip that you sent me yesterday in my email about those laws that were passed in 714. I mean in 720 and 750, 1720 and 750. We got to touch that tomorrow. We can't even skip over.
Okay.
So
Okay.
make sure that Yosef has a copy of it so he can look over it too, and we'll try to correlate scripture to it.
Cool. Sounds like a plan.
Actually, I'm gonna be studying for Shabbat today. So I'm trying to get that last bit of chapter 2 together. And once we get that last bit of chapter 2 together, that last bit of verse 1, chapter 2, chapter 1, verse 2 together, then I'm going to get ready to, then we can get ready to do what we need to do. Next week, we're going to run Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm going to try to get up early on Wednesday and go get my COVID test to see if I'm clear. And hopefully I'll just have the rest of the week off and then go back to work that Monday. So get ready, man, for another week. As we close off this week, we celebrate the Shabbat on Saturday. We are actually in the Shabbat class. We are going over the book of Genesis. We're going to do the whole book of Genesis because I honestly believe that if you don't know the foundation, if you don't know the beginning from the end or the end from the beginning, then you can't follow the Father. So we got to know the cheat sheet. Genesis is a cheat sheet. You're going to find out some things in Genesis. You're going to find out that there was a law before Exodus. You're going to find these things out. So if you want to follow us, just follow me on my channel, Yemi Yahu Ben Yahuda. That's spelled YemiYahubeyadu. Dog, I messed up. UDAH. There we go. Yemi Yahu Ben Yahuda. If you're not subscribed to that channel and you want to follow us for our Shabbat Day service, because Shabbat Day classes is only going to be streamed on that channel. So please, I ask you to subscribe to that channel and get ready. We do Shabbat Day classes at 3:30 in the afternoon because we give people time to rest and to get some sleep and to do those things to replenish their bodies before we go into worship. So everybody, I thank you once again for coming. It's 3 hours into this lesson. Yosef, get you some sleep because I know you're tired. Malak, don't forget, please don't forget to send that to him. Thank you for all y'all support, guys. As we get ready to pray, I want to thank everybody who have come through this chat. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your respect. Thank you for being thoughtful, and thank you for the words that you've shared in the chats below. Never surrender, never give up. Thank you for coming through, sister. It is, a trip to see you here. Also, Stefan, thank you. I see you on the Shabbat fam. Um, I love you guys, and we'll get ready to pray. Abba Yah, thank you for another day of lessons, another day of teaching. Abba Yah, thank you for allowing me to have a purpose and to allow me, even in my sickness, to share your gospel. I thank you for the brothers that you are surrounding me with, the threefold cord that is not easily broken, even though we have to work, we have things going on. I thank you for allowing your will to allow all of us to get together. Yah, we ask right now in your name that we do not depart from you. Don't let it be about us, but let it be about you. And Yah, we ask right now that that this word takes legs, Abba Father. It moves like a leaf on the wind, and that it travels, and that people can hear it and hear what it is that they need to do so that they can follow you and have a promise of the contract. So, Yah, we just thank you once again for all that you've done, all that you will do. We thank you for Yeshua HaMashiach, our chief high priest, our sacrificial lamb, and the word made flesh that dwells amongst us. Abba Yah, we give you all praise by saying hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
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 Y'all stay
Hallelujah.
on. I'm about to go backstage. Thank y'all once again for joining us with another Shabbat Day class. Don't get off, you guys.